To gatekeep or not to gatekeep? That is the question. Hey guys, Kendra here, aka nerdymillennial, with another video. And this video is about should we bring gatekeeping? Like should we do gatekeeping? I mean, I've talked about how gatekeeping is toxic and it's not cool, but should we bring back gatekeeping, especially with a lot of people that are, not all, but a lot of people who are coming into the community, nerd spaces, that are bringing toxicity? Should we gatekeep? And I apologize for talking low, but my brother, he's sleeping upstairs. He just got off from work. So, and also if you hear like some tip tapping, it's one of my doggies that I'm pet sitting that's walking around. So again, the topic is should nerds start gatekeeping more, I should say, because I mean it's still going on in nerd spaces. So I guess the main thing is gatekeeping a must? That's what I should say. Is gatekeeping a must? So as we all know, nerd spaces, fandom spaces, cosplay community, anime community, gaming community, all that, it really is not the same anymore. And if you keep seeing me looking, I have notes. So yeah. So, anime cosplay gaming conventions, they were supposed to be safe spaces where people could just be themselves, right? Where being obsessed with something wasn't weird, it was normal. But lately, a lot of people feel like those same spaces are getting messy, which they are, toxic, loud in a way that doesn't feel healthy. And that's brought up a question that keeps popping up everywhere. Should gatekeeping be a thing? I mean, it is a thing, but should it be enforced more, I guess? So, is gatekeeping exactly what caused a lot of problems in the first place? Because that's where the debate gets real. Okay, so first section, what people mean by gatekeeping. Let's define, what I'm talking about. When people say gatekeeping, they usually mean things like you're not a real fan unless you've seen every episode. You don't know enough about anime to cosplay that character. You just got here, so you can't speak on this fandom, or excluding people based on appearance, gender, or popularity. At its core, gatekeeping is about deciding who belongs and who doesn't. And yeah, sometimes people say it's about protecting a culture, but a lot of times it turns into exclusion. So the next section is why people are even asking for gatekeeping. Now, here's the part where we have to be honest. People aren't just randomly asking for gatekeeping out of nowhere. A lot of longtime nerds feel frustrated because they watch spaces shift. They've seen people enter fandoms just for clout, toxic behavior at conventions, harassment in cosplay communities, people treating nerd culture like a trend instead of passion. And when something you love starts feeling performative instead of genuine, it's easy to want to lock it down. So for some people, gatekeeping feels like protection. Like if we filter people harder, maybe the space will feel safe again. But that's where things get complicated. So the next section, the problem with gatekeeping. Because gatekeeping sounds like protection, right? But in practice, it often becomes exclusion. And not just exclusion of toxic people, it ends up pushing out new fans who are still learning, casual fans who just discovered the hobby, younger people trying to find community, marginalized fans who already have to fight to be seen in these spaces. And instead of fixing toxicity, it often just creates a different kind of toxicity: elitism, comparison, hierarchy. I was here first, you don't know enough, you don't belong. And the irony is that energy is also toxic. So now you don't have a safer space, you just have a more controlled one that feels safe, feels unsafe for different reasons. So, next section, what actually helps toxic nerd spaces? So, if gatekeeping isn't the answer, what is? Honestly, it comes down to boundaries, not barriers. Healthy nerd spaces need accountability when people act disrespectful, moderators who actually enforce rules in online communities, convention policies that protect attendees, people willing to speak up without turning it into harassment. And honestly, more mentorship energy. Like instead of you don't belong here, it becomes here's how we do things in this space. Let me show you. Because protecting a culture doesn't always mean shrinking it, sometimes it means teaching it. And the next topic, the real question. And maybe the real question isn't should we gatekeep? Maybe the question is what are we actually trying to protect? Because if the answer is respect, creativity, and community, then gatekeeping doesn't always get us there. But if the answer is ego, status, or ownership of a fandom, then yeah, gatekeeping starts to make more sense. But that's not community anymore, that's territory. So at the end of the day, nerd culture was never supposed to be about proving you belong. It was supposed to be about sharing something you love. And yeah, toxic behavior is real. It does exist and it needs to be addressed. But gatekeeping isn't a cure, it's just a filter. And filters don't always remove the bad. Sometimes they just change who gets left out. So I'm going to leave it right there. And do you guys think nerd spaces need more gatekeeping or just better boundaries and better people willing to uphold them? So please let me know, guys, what you think about this topic in the comments. We all can agree to disagree. Please share, but keep it respectful because I think this needs to be talked more about. But I'm gonna leave it at there, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, drinking water, all of that. And this is Kendra, aka Nerdy Millennial. Bye bye.